to some maybe technical reason, he said he will be joining again. So, okay, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to this IKS webinar. On behalf of the IKS Center, Assam University, Silchar, and on my personal behalf, I extend a warm welcome to everyone present here, particularly to our speaker, Professor Raghunath Ghosh sir from North Bengal University, and our director sir, Professor Ganga Bhushan, director of IKS Assam University, Dr. Sindhu Podal madam from Tripura University, Dr. Shailendra Singh sir from Allahabad University, and all our research scholar participants, students who join from across the India and abroad. So thank you so much for joining us today. This is our first lecture under IKS webinar, and we are very, very fortunate and honored to have with us Professor Raghunath Ghosh as a first speaker of this IKS webinar. Initially, we have done IKS lecture series for a long time, like from 2022 to 2024. Now, once again, we have revived this process and we made it IKS webinar this time. So we have 2-3 more lectures this month, and we are lucky, as I said, this time we are starting it with our own very respected, beloved Professor Raghunath sir. So before I hand over the session to our chairperson, Professor Ganga Bhushan, let me take a few minutes to say a few words about our speakers. Even though the fact is that we all know him very well, he's a well-known scholar of Naya, Navvanaya. He's a renowned scholar, teacher, and he has around 40 years of teaching and research experience. I mean, we know him very well, and he has visited our university several times on several occasions. And we welcome you, sir, and thank you for giving us your time. So, as we all know, he is an expert in Naya field, but beside that, he has specialization also in Advaita Vedanta, Buddhism, classical and modern Indian philosophy, Indian socio-political philosophy. He has authored several books, around 14 books on Navvanaya, aesthetics, Buddhism, modern Indian thought, and has written several articles, multiple articles, both in national and international journals, around 200 articles. So, and also he is a editor of 2 research journals. He has visited abroad frequently, and he was the visiting professor of many such abroad universities for long time, say University of Paris, then University of Boston, Hiroshima University, University of Tokyo, and then Agrasa Memorial Buddhist Society, Bangladesh, University of Saarland, Germany, University of Leiden, Netherlands, Paris, King's College, London, University of Freiburg, and many more places. These are few only I'm mentioning. And today, sir is actually making his presentation on philosophy of life in the light of Upanishads. So, and of course, we have also with us Dr. Sindhu Podal, as I said, from Tripura University, a very dynamic, very vibrant, enthusiastic teacher, scholar, and she is joining us today as a discussant. So I welcome you also. My heartfelt welcome to both of you once again. And with these words, I now hand over this session to our chairperson, Professor Ganga Bhushan sir. Nonglin sir has joined. Can you tell me? I don't see here.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So I think, sir, we can start the talk. Uh, we can start the talk and then he will be joining, I think. So after you can take sir 40 minutes, 45 minutes for your deliberation, and then Dr. Shindu Podiyal will share her reflection on the talk for 5-10 minutes,
Okay.
and then the session will be open for Q&A. So yeah, it's over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you, Moon Moon, for extending your kind invitation to me. Thanks to Professor Ganga Bhushan for extending his affection to me, and thanking also to all of you. And Moon Moon has told many things about me. All are not good in that sense. I feel shaky in accepting all these things. But however, I am thankful to him for this reason. And now, before starting, I would like to tell you that my talk will be concentrated to only Upanishads. And as you know, it's a big history because 12 Upanishads are well known and 108 Upanishads are little known. So I won't take all these things. I will take some of the mantras from the Upanishad which has got this worldly value. I am not talking about something which has got other worldly values. Professor Dayakrishna once wrote an essay. His allegation was that Indians are more interested in mukti, that is freedom, and that freedom is otherworldly, not this worldly freedom. And therefore, Indian concept of freedom has got some negative things. There is only freedom from, but not freedom to. Again, he showed it has got some life negating attitude. And as you know, Vedanta and all philosophers, Vedantins and other philosophers, they believe in mukti or freedom, mostly otherworldly freedom. Now, and Upanishad, I am interested because Upanishad is the part of Vedanta. What is called Vedanta, if you ask me, and it is asked by Sadananda Jogindra, it is told by him that Upanishad Vedanta Namo Upanishad Pramana. Friends, I will utter Sanskrit word, but don't get afraid, it will be immediately translated into English. So Vedanta Namo Upanishad Pramana. So there are so many meaning of the term Vedanta. One of the meaning is this. It is Vedanta Namo Upanishad Pramanam. That is, it means whatever said in the Upanishad has been accepted in Vedanta. So if you try to get the evidence of what Vedanta says, you can go through the Upanishad. So Upanishad is powerful so far as the Vedanta is concerned. And now, you know that, that there is an advertisement of Life Insurance Corporation of India. And that word I very like. What they told? That LIC is connected with someone's life while alive and while dead. जिंदगी का साथ भी जिंदगी का बाद भी. So Upanishadic statement, they concern both. But after जिंदगी का बाद भी क्या होता है, I won't tell of that portion we left aside. I will tell only those portions which are connected with our life in order to refute the view that Indian philosophical systems or some of the thoughts as embedded in Indian philosophy is life negating, but not the case. Now, I may start with a mantra. I will utter the mantra, but again I am telling it will be translated. You know, Ishopanishad, the mantra is there. Ishavashamidang sarvang yat kincha jagottang jagot tenu taktenu bhunjitha magridho kasyasidhanam. This is the first mantra of Upanishad. What does it mean? The whole world is covered by only one consciousness. Only one consciousness or Brahman or Atman or Chaitanya or God, whatever may be. And Vivekananda, the modern interpreter of Advaita Vedanta, had liked this mantra very much. Why? Because he told in this mantra there is one part, the first part is the premise, second part is the conclusion. So why we should be moral? If someone asks this question, to him this mantra is very important. The first premise is whole world is covered by consciousness or Chaitanya or self like me. So myself is covered, has covered the whole world. And if it is so, then if I am not confined within myself, but I am outside the world, I am not alienated with the external world, I am not separated from the external world. I myself remains in the external world. If this be true, then there does not arise any question of exploitation. We can exploit someone if he is separated from me. We can be envious to someone if he is separated from me, if he is alienated from me. But if he is within me, I don't have the courage to exploit him. And Upanishad it is told, if you exploit him, it is just like a suicidal. Atmahano jana. Atmahano. You are suiciding. You are killing yourself because the man whom you are exploiting is nothing but the part of yourself. So what we should do? We should be sympathetic to them. We should not exploit them. Ma gridho kasya. This is the second moral action, that you don't be greedy to others' property. But another phrase is given, Takti no bhunjita. That is you. What will you do under the situation? We can enjoy through renunciation, through our sacrifice. Now the question may be raised, sacrifice and enjoyment. These are opposite to each other. Tag and bhog. If there is sacrifice, there cannot be bhog in the true sense of the term, enjoyment in the true sense of the term. So Taktena Bhunjita, this is something special which is accepted in our Indian tradition. Therefore, yes, it is the true enjoyment. When it is called true enjoyment, when it is in the meta level, that is enjoyment over enjoyment. When you give something to others and the needy peoples are eating or enjoying the given food, and after seeing this, if you are rejoicing, if you can enjoy the enjoyment of others, it is called Taktena Punjita. Renunciation, through renunciation, you have enjoyment. Normally, we say our mothers. Not all mothers are just like Moon Moon. There are so many mothers in our villages who has no beautiful dresses, no money, so they go village to earn money, to get something food. After bringing it, all is given to their young one children. When the children is taking food at the evening, mother is enjoying. Though mother is empty bellied at that moment, though mother has nothing to enjoy, yet the enjoyment of the sons or daughters gives him super enjoyment. That is why it is called meta enjoyment, enjoyment over enjoyment. And second enjoyment is renunciation. Through renunciation, you are enjoying. And this is also told in the Upanishad elsewhere. There is a metaphor of two birds. In Shantiniketan Darshan Bhavan, there is the picture of a beautiful tree with fruits. And it has been shown that two birds are eating. One bird is directly eating the fruit, another bird sitting in a different branch of a tree, looking towards his son, mother bird, and enjoying. Though the second one has no direct touch with the fruit, yet she is enjoying. So this enjoyment is enjoyment through renunciation. So this is possible only in India because whole world is nothing but the part of yourself, part of your place. So the premise is why you will do moral action, because you are not confined with you. You are not separated from the whole world. You are conjoined with the world. You are not separated, but remain inseparated with the world. So, if you think yourself separated from others, then you should be treated as alienated. If you are alienated, then alienation is a kind of death. It is metaphorized as death. So to be one with other is Amritattva, is called immortality, and to remain separated from others is a kind of death. So Rabindranath told, I quote Bengali little bit, you will understand or translate it. It is told by Rabindranath, মৃত্যু সে ধরে মৃত্যুর রূপ, দুঃখ হয় সে দুঃখের কূপ, তোমা হতে যাবে হইয়া বিমুখ, আপনার পানে চাই। The death will be literally death for you. And sorrow will be literally sorrowful to you. If you identify, you cannot identify yourself with the self, all pervading self. If you think that you are separated from, then it is called a kind of alienation. And alienation is another name of alienation is death. And it has been told that there is something ideal with whom we are in touch with. That is Atman, Brahman, consciousness, whatever name you tell, you are connected with that. If you are not connected, if you are alienated, the grammarian tells it opai. Dhruvam opaye opadanam. This sutra is given by Panini. According to Panini, when you are alienated from the source, dhruvo, something fixed, when you are alienated from something which is fixed, you are alienated, you are separated. Just like brikshat patrani patanti. The leaves are falling down from the branch of the tree. So here branch of the tree is the limit, and from where it has got some separation. That dhruvo here, it is metaphorized, metaphor. Here it is branch of a tree. But if you think yourself separated from the Brahman, from consciousness, that is also a kind of mrityu. Because you cannot give, you cannot provide any moral actions. Exploitation will be there, pollution will be there, killing of trees will be there, ahimsa will not be there, forbearance will not be there, all the divine qualities, virtues will not be there. Until and unless we identify ourselves with the Supreme One. Whether you believe or not, if you identify, then that has got some positive value. You cannot exploit others, you cannot hate others. So it is told the first line is premise and second line conclusion, that is, you are the moral being. That is why you can have the moral actions. So it is said in the first mantra of Upanishad, Ishavasyavidang Sarvang Yat Kincho Jagat Tang Jagat Tena Taktena Bhunjita Magridho Kushashitana. Now another condition of being moral, which Gandhiji has emphasized, taking clue from Upanishad. What? To him, mantra for being a moral is to catch hold of truth, truth with capital T. And truth, capital T, according to Upanishad, is nothing but consciousness. You know, the consciousness has got three constituents: Sattam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That consciousness is true. That consciousness is knowledge par excellence. Truth par excellence, knowledge par excellence, and infinite par excellence. Because you cannot measure it. Immeasurable truth, immeasurable knowledge, and this knowledge is called contentless knowledge. We can have knowledge of chair, table, etc. But this is contentful knowledge, knowledge having some content, called Sabishayaka Jnana. But in case of Brahman, we have knowledge. But this knowledge is Abhishayaka. Now I discuss only truth. Truth is Brahman. Say in Kenopanishad it is told, Tusho Ayotanam Sattam. The abode of Brahman is truth with capital T. Sattam. Now Shankaracharya has got explanation, beautiful explanation. What Satya means? Shankaracharya is telling Satyam ittamaita. Satya iti amaita. The term amaita, we are more or less acquainted with the term amaika. Amaita and amaiko is the same thing. Amaiko means having no maya at all. What does it mean, maya? Maya has got two meanings. One, ordinary meaning, maya, mamata, sympathy, feeling for others. Forget about that. Another meaning is that maya is called artificiality. When I call maya bono biharini horini, a kind of deer which is roaming in the forest is an artificial deer. So it is mic deer. Again we call the term maya born. Forest is also maya. That is artificially created, not the natural forest. And we are acquainted with the term crocodile's tears, maya krandon. If you say maya krandon, that is artificially crying, just like rudali. Artificially you cry, but not naturally. You are not weeping in the true sense of the term. You are weeping only to show others. So that is called Maya. Indra is called Maya because he has power. Earlier, the Asuras has got Maya because they can take any form. And our magicians are called Maik, Indrajalik, Indrajal, network of Indra. Indra has got Maya that is capable of creating something out of nothing. This creation is not a real creation, but an artificial creation. So, magicians are called Indrajal or Indrajalik. P.C. Sarkar's house name is Indrajal. That is network of Indra. Now, Amaik means non-artificial. If you take Maya in the artificial sense, it is artificial. Then Amaik means non-artificial. Shankaracharya is telling Sottam iti Amaita. What does Amaita means? He again is telling. Amaita means Akautilla. Akautilla means non-crookedness. What is non-crookedness? No kutilata will be there. Shadolya will be there. Kutilata and Shadolya, simplicity, they are opposite to each other. If you have artificiality, You cannot have simplicity. Why? What does simplicity means? Sattam iti amaita. Amaita akautillam. Absence of crookedness. And akautillo means kayo mano vakkeshu akautillo. He must be transparent, be in three levels: when he talks, when he does work, and when he thinks. Kayo mano vakko. So if you think, whatever you think, you can tell. Whatever you tell, you can do some work. Then there will be no problem in this world. Our political leaders see whatever they tell, they do not do. So Satya in the true sense of the term, Gandhiji told, it's a kind of transparency. Between what? Whatever you think, whatever you act, and whatever you speak. There should be one-to-one correspondence. Then the society will be a divine society. No problem. All the problems arising in our society in the present day, that is due to this absence of simplicity. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he repeatedly told 3-4 times in his Kathamrita that if you want to get God, be simple. Simple, he told. What does simple means? Ramakrishna told, Mon mukh ek karo. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you speaking, you must be one. So, this is one thing. So, kaya mano vakkeshu akautillam. So, this is another type of swachhata, transparency, which Upanishad tells us to adopt. If we can adopt it, then all the problems, social problems, family problems, political problems can be eradicated. So that is why Shatya has to be taken in this sense. And this is told in Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. Moreover, third problem. First is we have to practice non-alienation, identification with the rest of the world, and enjoy through renunciation, which bar you, which do not allow you to exploit others, to do immoral action. Secondly, I am telling if you want if you do not want to commit any immoral work, you have to adopt truth. Truth means in the sense of simplicity. And if you are simple as opposite to, as contrary to artificiality, then all the problem can easily be solved. Because our problem of existence coming from non-transparency, either you whatever you are telling you are not doing, even in the family, in the society. Third problem, third I am telling what we learn from Upanishad. Third, we are proud of our knowledge. We have given Indian knowledge system. An Indian knowledge system is an ocean. There is epistemology, there is metaphysics, there is aesthetics, there is moral philosophy, there is a called intuitive cognition, which is called prativoggyano. There is artificial cognition also, not artificial intelligence, called aharyagana. Hypothetical knowledge is also there, and also yogic experience is also another type of knowledge. So Indian knowledge system is just like a ocean. But we cannot know all things together. We should keep in our mind that whatever we know so far is not all, because all forms of knowledge can never be attained by me. Still, we find there are great men in this world who used to tell that I am pelting stone sitting on the ocean of knowledge. The big person, big scientists, big philosophers, they told like this because they know I cannot know all. I have limitations. But you see, if you see a Pandit, a scholarly person, he does not think out of ego that he, as if he has known everything. Upanishad is telling that it is not possible for you to know all. If you have misconception, if you think that I know many things, it is a misconception. And if you think that I do not know all things, even I do not know what is needed, out of your sober attitude, then you are correct. So two positions. We are very much proud of our knowledge. So Sukumar Roy, the poet of Bengal, he wrote a poetry. The story goes like this. Socrates told that I am pelting stone, or somebody else don't know, sitting on the ocean of knowledge. But a man of this type who is proud of his knowledge, he has gone for boating on the river. And there was none, only boatman and the intelligent people, scholar. So he is asking the boatman many questions. What are the questions? It is asked to him that do you know why the size of a sun or moon is increasing or decreasing? How do you know all these things? So in Bengali there is a beautiful poetry. Bidde বোঝায় বাবু মশাই. A man belonging to Babu class, he is overloaded with knowledge. Being overloaded with knowledge, asking question to the boatman. বিদ্যে বোঝায় বাবু মশাই, চড়ি শখের bote. He has gone for outing with a boat. মাঝিরে কন বলতে পারিস সূর্যি কেন ওঠে? He is asking the boatman why sun arises. Like this. সূর্যি কেন ওঠে? চাঁদটা কেন বাড়ে কমে? জোয়ার কেন আসে? মূর্খ মাঝি অবাক হয়ে ফেলফেলিয়ে হাসে. The illiterate man, the boatman, did not tell anything. Then the proud scholar told that 1/4 of your life is spoiled because you don't know these things. Then again, another set of questions was given to him. He could not answer. Then he told 50% of your life is in vain. Again set of question. Then three-fourths of the life is in vain. At that time there was a storm and the boat was going to be capsized. Then the illiterate boatman asked only one question to him. Do you know how to swim? The Babu cultured person told, no, no, I don't know how to swim. Then the illiterate boatman told him, now come to the conclusion that the 100% of your life is spoiled because you don't know swimming. Such is the effect of proud. Upanishad tell, yasya matang tasya matang, matang jasya navedasya. It is just not applicable only to Brahman, in our life also. If you think that you know all, then I will presume you does not know. And if you see that I do not know many things, then I will understand you know something at least. Jasya amatam tasya matam. Matam jasya navedasya. Such a beautiful word. When you see the educated man full of pride, saying, I know everything. Well, are you a human being? You have got, you cannot know all. It is told in Sanskrit, Ananta Padam Kila Shabda Shastra. The literature or words, they have no limit. If you want to know all literature, Shalpang Tathayu, our lifespan is very limited in compared to that. Shalpang Tathayu Bahavasya Vigna. So many problems are in our life. So it is not possible to know all. Still, if you think that you know all, you does not know at all. This type of thing has to be put, has to be highlighted to the upper class, so-called upper pundits, so-called the scholars who think themselves they belong to the upper class. Now, another thing we can take, we are running after nowadays you see there is environmental pollution. And you know that in our Shastra, in Shankho, there is a Prakriti, and Prakriti is called Prasavoitri. Prasavoitri means Prakriti or nature is something who is capable of giving birth. That's why, just like a mother. So, nature is mother-like. Earth is called mother. In our knowledge system itself, Prithvi is a mother because it nourishes its children. By way of giving crops, we can maintain ourselves. So, the Prakriti itself, the nature is giving, Prithvi or earth is giving something to it. Otherwise, what will you do with your money? Money will be not at all acceptable to you. If you actually the money will not be actualized, actually useful to you if you do not get food. So there is a chain system. Whatever, if you have rain in the earth, then you will get crops. Mother can give you crops. If she is associated with water, and that water comes from rain, and rain is due to the formation of cloud through sun. Sun, through its power, takes the solid things, liquid things to the sky, and cloud is formed. From this, rain is coming down through the intervention of the trees. It is told in our Dharma Shastra, Adittat Jayate Vrishti. From the sun, through cloud, through the intervention of the trees, rain is coming down. Adittat Jayate Vrishti. And if Brishti is there, rain is there, Brishti Rannam, we can get to take something, anna, eatable things. Tata praja, then we can survive in this world. So very much question of our existence, survival in the earth, it depends on Aditya, depends on Mother Earth and also nature. That's why Upanishad tells you. What is the Upanishadic meaning? It is told the disciples like us, the ignorant people like us, they are telling Madhu Vata Ritayate. Let us think about bringing the equilibrium in the weather, in the air. Madhu means harmonized weather. Vata Ritayate. We do not have cyclone, do not want cyclone, as well as we do not want a gloomy atmosphere, but we want cool breeze. So this should be done in this earth. So we can make the earth, nature, utilize the nature in such a way so that we can get the the equal weather. Equal means harmonized weather, neither too hot nor too cold. Madhu bata ritayati. Madhuk sharanti sindhavo. We want the rivers flow gently. We don't want flood. We don't want drought also. But we don't want a harmonized way of flowing river. Is Madhuk Sharanti Sindhavo. Just see the perception of our Upanishadic thinkers. Madhirna Santu Oshadhi. You know there are two types of trees. One type of tree is called Oshadhi. Oshadhi means medicinal plants. After giving the crop, they die, just like paddy, just like wheat. These trees die when, as soon as the fruits are given, crops are given. So, in this way, all these are called Oshodhi. So, Vedic thinkers, Upanishadic thinkers, they are telling you have to take care of the medicinal plants so that you can enjoy. You can survive in this world. And also, not only Oshodhi, Modhavan Naktang Modhavat Parthipam Rajo, Modhavanna Vanaspati. Oshodhi is one type of plant, Vanaspati is another type of plant, where the rainwater comes through the intervention of the trees. So that should be also beautiful. Otherwise, there should not be one way attitude that Oshadhis must be protected, medicinal plants must be protected. but not the other. This is not the case. Again, it is we want to see the beautiful sky. We want to see the beautiful ether. So all becomes harmonized beautifully. And you know, nowadays we have injunction that sound pollution should not be more. Because if you put a sound which is above 65 decibel, it is a punishable offense. In Upanishad, it is told, Bhadrang karnevhi srinuvamo. Let us think what is agreeable to our ears. If it is above 65 decibel, it is not agreeable to our ears. Shruti Madhur, it will not be there. Bhadra will not be there. Om Bhadrang Karnevi Srinuvamo. This is also told by them. Moreover, you are reading literature. Almost all are interested in reading literature. Almost all are interested in seeing film, drama, and you will see, you may, if you ask question to a Upanishadic thinker, how do you think, how can I know that there is some consciousness which can cover the whole world? How can I know his nature? And Upanishadic thinkers are telling that you are getting in this mundane life the flavor of Brahman in this mundane life. Why? Because when you are in the film, suppose you are seeing Devdas, and there is a separation between Devdas and Paru, and your mind becomes sorrowful. Pathos has been shared by you. After spending a lot of money, lot of time, you have got something which is bitter to you, apparently bitter. But if you ask literally, you will say, no, it's very interesting. I enjoyed the pathos. So can pathos be enjoyable? But Upanishad, it is told, yes, in aesthetic you are doing, the normal persons are doing. It is sadharanikaran, it is general people. So I will take 7-8 minutes more. Okay, Moon. So that is why Upanishadic seers are telling Rasho Vaisha, what you are having the pathos, Korun Rash. Why it is Rasha, liquid? Because it is leakable. When you take chutney, it is leakable. You enjoy this thing. So pathos is also a kind of enjoyable things. So this pathos is enjoyable, though bitter, though pathos is not connected with your life. Yes, you can enjoy it. This is called a disinterested pleasure. This is called disinterested universal pleasure. And in English literature, it is told that our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. So sad means it may be replaced by anand. So Rabindranath told, dukkha is not opposite to sukha. Even in Koruno there is dukkha, but it is enjoyable, ananda. Ananda is there. So if you believe that in drama you have enjoyment. Even in the Corona rush hour you have enjoyment. You can imagine that there is a more powerful rush hour in this world, which is called Brahma. And lastly, I will tell you, Upanishad gives us certain message so that we can change our lifestyle. What is that? Nowadays, you will see there is not a single family. Single means joint family. Mothers are kept, fathers are kept in Vidhashram, old age home, and we are isolated. But Upanishad is telling that consider your mother as goddess. Consider your father as goddess. Consider your teacher. Teachers are not respected. And teacher, the term used not Adhyapako, not Upadhyayo, not others, but Acharya. And you know Sri Aurobindo is called Acharya Sri Aurobindo. Acharya means who is a practicing teacher. They should be considered as God. Practicing teacher means whatever I am doing, I can advise you. A mother told to a teacher that asked my daughter not to take sweet much. Teacher told, please come after 10 days. After 10 days, she had been there and teacher told, it is not good to take sweet every day, Baba, so you forget it. Mother was annoyed. Sir, you could have told this thing 10 days back. Why you are telling me? Then the teacher told, yes, I could have told you. But I didn't tell because I myself was addicted to sweet. During these 10 days, I refrained myself from taking sweets, so I have gathered the moral courage to tell your son not to take sweet. And again, another is Otithi Devo Bhavo. The guest should be taken. Now there is no Otithi in the true sense of the term. Otithi means one who comes without maintaining appointment. But nowadays nobody goes without seeking appointment. And these four are given by Upanishad. Matrideva Bhavo, Pitrideva Bhavo, Acharya Devo Bhavo, and Otithi Devo. Vivekananda added two. Daridra Devo Bhavo, Murkha Devo Bhavo. Illiterate person. They have not come from other world, other planet. So they should be respected. And now they have given training how to behave with others. So Vidyasagar was in Karmatar. In the early morning, they are walking, and an old man was seeking a worn cloth. The accompanying person of Vidyasagar has thrown the shawl to him. Then Vidyasagar objected that you don't know how to give a thing to the needy person. When you give me some presentation, it should be in a presentable manner. You cannot throw it. So it is said by Upanishad, Sraddhaya Deyam. Whatever you will give with honor. Asraddhaya Adeyam. If you give something throwing, this is asraddha. You should not do this. Again it is told, Sriya Deyam. You give it nicely. Bhiyadeyam, don't think that you are giving so you are a big person. So out of fear you give it. So these are the manner which have been given in the Upanishad. It has no relation with the other worldly business. If we want to keep ourselves happy, beautiful in this world, in a harmonized way, then we should read Upanishad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this very, very lucid and very comprehensive presentation. I mean, you have highlighted all the core message, I mean, concepts of Upanishads, starting from Sat Chit Ananda, the very concept of alienation, truth, and knowing, the way you have discussed it, and then you try to connect it with the practical issues that we are facing in our day-to-day life with the concept of nature, mother earth, and
Yeah,
lastly the very idea of values,
yeah,
aesthetics, everything,
yeah.
the way you have made the presentation. This is such a very, very insightful deliberation, sir. Thank you so much. Before we request our Shindhu madam discussant of this session, I would like to request our chairperson, sir, director, sir, of IKS, to say a few words, and then we will move
Yes.
on to madam. Sir, please.
Uh, First of all, sir, I'm extremely sorry. There was
Ah, no
some
problem,
issue.
no problem.
There was some issue with my laptop, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was trying, and but I missed
yeah,
the initial part of whatever madam has mentioned, that Satchit Anand aspect I missed. But I joined when you started talking about the alienation,
yeah,
and
yeah.
in true sense, like in the mundane world, unless we don't feel alienated from the capital truth, the capital T truth,
Yeah,
the essence of life is lost. And
yeah,
you have rightly talked about that symbiotic relationship should be there with Prakriti, and which is being promulgated by the Upanishads. Most of the
yeah,
time we are using the earth for our own vested interest. We are not giving back anything, and that's
yes,
why the mother, the concept of mother is very apt here, that you have rightly mentioned. And I liked that, like you mentioned, that all the problems in this mundane world are because of one thing, that is there is no integration between the thought and the action. And the Upanishadic teachings that you rightly mentioned, if the synchronization is there between thought and action, 99% of the problems will go. And you rightly mentioned that the value systems that are getting depleted because of the dismantling of the family systems. Now hardly we see parents telling their children, don't tell lie. But during our time, every day 100 times our parents used to tell, don't tell lie, don't tell lie, speak truth.
mm, mm,
Nowadays the parents tell that, you should have told lie to your teacher.
mm.
So the kind of moral upbringings, the socialization process is at stake. And you rightly pointed out that Vedic literature plays a significant role to make the man in true sense a man. Whether we become God or not, that is different. But if we become man, uh,
Yeah.
then most of the problems will be. I always enjoy listening to you, sir.
Thank
Philosophy
you, thank
lectures are more difficult, actually. But
you.
last time also, I still remember we have recorded also. So
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
so nice in
Thank
terms of
you very
putting
much. Thank
all complex things in very simplified way.
you.
So thank you very much, sir. This has given
Thank
me.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
So
So I
now we
met
can.
you last time.
Yes, sir. Next time, please, sir, do come. We would like to
I will come.
invite you
I will
in
come, no
person.
problem. I will come.
Yes. Please, sir, please, and
Please.
that would be so nice. Though it is
Yes.
little troublesome for you, but
No,
we
not
will
problem.
benefit from that.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Thank you. I like the
Oh,
word that you use, the rasa you use. No, sir, I have one
yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
said rasa, it is because lickable, so it is
Ah,
rasa.
ah.
Um, but when a person is not with positive moral values, they
Mhm.
enjoy the pain of others,
Yeah, yeah,
isn't it, sir? You were mentioning that something, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is it a personality trait, sir, or
Yes, yes, yes. It depends on your personality, it is true. But that personality has to be built up. Because psychologically, human beings are like this. Prafulla Chandra Rai, a great chemist, told that Rasayan, which is called Rasayan, that chemicalization, also human body there is a chemicalization. When you see the film, your mind, heart, and everything is with the film. No personal problem is remembered at that time. So there is some chemical reactions in your body, and through which you can enjoy the pathos. Impersonal. It is not personal pathos impersonal. Disinterested. All these descriptions are given in Indian and also in Kant. The disinterested pleasure, that is what it is called. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir, thank you,
Thank
sir, thank you, sir. Interesting, you know. Yeah.
Very good.
Uh, Over to Munmun madam for
Yeah,
taking
thank you, sir.
questions.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. So just I want to add one more thing. The one more thing here, that the best part of the talk is I see that the way you have tried to synthesize metaphysics, epistemology, and aesthetic, ethics,
Yes.
morality,
Thank
values, because most of the time we have a kind of perception about Indian philosophy. There is no place for ethics or morality, and particularly when we talk about Upanishad or classical text,
you.
whether it is say Brahma Sutra or any other classical text, we say like they are more like aware about metaphysical issues or epistemological problems, but they give more emphasis on ethics. But you have from
Yeah.
the very beginning, you have shown us how morality, the question of morality, comes in Upanishad, in the very first sloka of Isha Upanishad. So that is one very important point, sir. Thank you for raising such issues. And now I would like to request Dr. Shindhu Madam, who has joined us today as a discussion, to share her thoughts and reflection. Madam, please, over to you.
Thank you so much, respected chair, and then our eminent speaker, Professor Ghosh. It was, as has been already highlighted by the chairperson as well as Dr. Munmun, that this has been one of the perhaps most worldly understanding of the Upanishads, because Upanishads, where we always see Upanishads as something which is out of the world, which talks about transcendentality, which talks about the relation of Atman and Brahman, where we do not know the locus of all of it. And then Professor Ghosh had tried to bring that whole idea into the world and the life, and which are very integral to our everydayness. So the best part was how to deal with this idea of, as he said, and then our chairperson also said, how to relate it with the rasa. So it was perhaps very late that we came to know that this rasa is actually these different chemical reactions, as Professor Ghosh had rightly pointed out, that
Yeah.
when in Descartes it was a pineal gland which was considered to be the connecting point of world, and then the something which is physical world with the or metaphysical world, or with the body with the mind. That's what Descartes sees is as the seat of consciousness. And then
Yeah.
it is very late that we came to know that this is also responsible for all the hormones that we create. This our
Yeah.
body creates when our sense organs come in contact with the world or different emotions. In fact, emotions are also nothing but the these chemical reactions in our
Yeah.
body. Now
Yeah.
that I'll start from there, and then the kind of thing that you have discussed, sir. I mean, it gave me an impression that there is so much to talk about Upanishads and human life, rather than theorizing Upanishads in the light of
Yeah.
some these very cozy terms like Brahman or
Yeah.
world or Jagat, and then try to give a very theoretical exposition. So
Yeah.
this also gives me an impression that, you see, when we talk of Indian knowledge system or Indian knowledge tradition in totality, so as Hegel constantly says, we need to go back to the past, we need to go back to the history, because history is not something which is a linear path. History is something which is always like zigzag. And then these are perhaps the zigzags which you have brought in, like whether it is in the context of rasa or in the context of environment, for that matter. The sustainable development goals, when we talk of these 17 sustainable goals which we are yet to achieve by 2030. Now, how do we locate this Indian knowledge system into a complex system of knowledge, which is not only which is not merely an isolated affair, but rather it is very, very integral to human life. So that integration of these different sustainable human goals, sustainable development goals, alongside our everydayness, because sustainability is something which is a continuous topic. So also the knowledge tradition. Knowledge is something which is not static, that you have already highlighted, through your today's deliberation, that knowledge is something which is continually there, and to make that knowledge relevant for the society, for the contemporary life itself is a challenging task. And Indian philosophy, which was always looked down as something which is very spiritual in its kind, or very transcendental in its kinds, and here are these explanations which you have given in your deliberation today, is very much essential, and at the same time very, very prominent for the sustainability of the knowledge tradition which we claim through this center like Indian knowledge system, so or Indian knowledge tradition. So now, when we see perhaps all these different approaches towards life and try to substitute it or try to understand these vis-a-vis these sustainable development goals, perhaps this lecture would be one of the landmarks in this process. So I have no words to say, sir. I don't know how much I have overwhelmed. I think I have taken each and every point, right from when you started with Ishopanishad till when
Yeah.
you talked about messages of the Upanishads for the contemporary world in terms of the changing of our lifestyle, respect for mothers, teachers, or the acharyas, guests, okay, and daridra, and even the murkhas, I mean the fools, or
Yeah.
the accommodation or inclusivity that Upanishad in a way is trying to give us, is something, it's phenomenal. Even and the uh, even shraddha, the concept of shraddha, which we used to think that it is one of the elements which has been included through the Puranas, and then it has come through the bhakti movement. But then when you said that shraddha in itself is something which is very, very Upanishadic, like that also perhaps we need to now again go back and see that these, like say for example Upanishad, there is a trust which is being built and, between the teacher and the student. And that is also one of the elements that Shraddha tries to, capture. Similarly, the very fascinating part, which if I considered, I mean, everything was very inclusive and very thought provoking. But then the essence that if I would like to take from this today's lecture was the idea of this, accommodation of the idea of a fool, and then even the daridra, which I think Gandhi also did when he tried to have this idea of the Harijan, that which he accommodated, where he talked about the untouchables. But here the Daridra Narayana, or the Daridra Narayan concept that is being, highlighted from very popularly during the Bengal Renaissance and all. And then even the idea of respect for, or the shraddha for the elders and the teachers. Now these were considered as the ethical values, which essentially were not very considered as Upanishadic. But then I am really grateful that to sir for bringing these out in our everydayness. Now I would also like to add here one concept that perhaps will also substantiate in understanding human life, and that is the celebration of death. In Bhagavad Gita too, especially in the second chapter, when Krishna was telling Arjuna, but that is perhaps because Bhagavad Gita can also be seen as one of the essences of Upanishad. So, because and death, the concept of death is also there in the Kathopanishad, where Nachiketa and then the god of death Yama had the conversation. And then in the second chapter, when Arjuna was in dilemma and he was reluctant to fight, and then Krishna tells him that, for what you are embracing this kind of pain. Now that is also very sadist approach that Arjuna was taking, amidst the war. And then Krishna was telling Arjuna that, you should not, this is not something a warrior should feel at this hour. Why? Because for you, the duty is to fight. Now, at the same time, the death has been celebrated there by Krishna, and it was given to Arjuna that, death is something which you should not be worried about. That is something which is actually, because the kind of that which you understand today is or as separation or the alienation, or you can say, going away from the world, is not something which is very static. Now, when we see it from a transcendental perspective, from the transmigration of the soul, or maybe immortality perspective and the rebirth perspective, but even in the life, when we think of death, it is perhaps not the death of the self, which is very important for the self per se. Of course, we fear of death, but at the same time, it is the fear of losing somebody that is more prominent than death in the self itself. So my death may be troublesome for me, but then when I think of somebody which is very near or dear to me, which is, as something which attaches me to the other, so that also could be perhaps one of the elements that we can also think through the Upanishads. And death is not only in the Kathopanishad that has been highlighted, but also in the Brihadaranyaka, because when Yajnavalkya was having the conversation, he also starts with the conversation with the death. Then he says that, when he says that a mother cries when her son or the husband passes away, not because the person is gone, but because now what will happen to the person who is yet to die. So that fear of losing somebody is more prominent in life, and that is related to life rather than talking about death in the rebirth. So I think that could also be one of the elements which I think we can also focus when it comes to the you see Upanishads and celebration. Death as a celebration in itself can perhaps also, that is just my addition to this whole idea of philosophy, Upanishads in the light of philosophy, or no, philosophy of life in the light, through the light of the Upanishads. Maybe that can also be contributed. But then
Okay.
I'm really really thankful to sir for this such an enlightening lecture, sir. I'm very very grateful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sindhu, for nicely summarizing what I told and what you suggest. That is quite agreeable to me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And thank
Okay.
you, the chairperson, for this lovely comment on sir's lecture, and also your presence is really enlightening. Dr. Munmun, now I think if there is time, I'm not sure for how long we are going to continue this, so that we can have one or two questions open, for discussion now.
Yeah. Yes,
The
yes.
floor can be open for
Yes,
discussion.
yes, definitely. Thank you, madam. Thank you for sharing your views, your valuable insights, and also for adding a new dimension to this. Thank you so much, madam. And these ideas are actually so profound. I mean, every time when we discuss, something new comes out. So, anyways, without taking much time, I would like to now open the session for Q&A. And we already got a question from our participant. There is one question in our chat box, that is, I have a question, just like Buddha says about how we can change our life in a better way and also can demolish our suffering through dependent origination. How does Upanishad uh, tells us to change our life in a better way? So this is a question, sir. Uh,
Okay. Actually, Buddha has taken a new path. Actually, his path is almost yogic path, like Ashtangik Margo, Dadosh Nidan. So, depending on the causality, there is a way of getting rid of the suffering. But here in Upanishad, without depending on Ashtango Margo or Patitta Samutpado, that is we can change our lifestyle, keeping a metaphysical view in mind that there is only one reality. That's why it is Advaita. And Buddha is not Advaita in the true sense of the term, but both the philosophers, both Buddhist and the Advaitins, their main intention is to get rid of suffering. That is true. But the way is completely different. I don't say that Buddha is false, Upanishad is true. Not that. Both are true. You can take the path of Buddha, you will reach the same destination. So one gentleman was asked, he was delivering lecture in New York, and he told that in India there are so many views in Upanishad, Advaita, and also Bhaktivadi schools and Buddha, Jaina, Charvak. How can I get rid of suffering? Which path is better? Then metaphorically the reply given by the scholar that if you want to write a letter to your friend, where you will post it. Now that concept is not there. Letterbox, which letterbox you will post it? He said nearest letterbox head. If you put it nearest letterbox and if you put it 1 kilometer away, the letterbox, it will go to the same destination? Yes. Our line is like this. As Hindu told, Bhagavad Gita has also something new to say. But we have to accept the different paths are there for eradicating our suffering. So Buddha is okay. We should not say that whatever Buddha says in Upanishad repeats that, not that. They are going into a way, but destination is the same. You can get rid of suffering.